So, first thing I want to say is that I am 42 years old. And the reason I feel like that's important to say is because a lot of people struggle with their age when it comes to chasing their dreams and whether they feel like they have enough time left to even go after their dreams. And it's one of the biggest lies that's ever been told that you're too old to pursue your dreams. And I was falling victim to that for many years. I was afraid to tell people how old I am because society puts all this pressure on us that if you're not popping by like your teens and like your 20s, like you might as well just give up hope, But it's the craziest thing, and it's really just another iteration of fear. And I want everyone watching this to take that excuse and throw it out the window because it's simply untrue. There's no statute of limitations on your dreams, right? Whatever's in you, you have a purpose, and there's only one you in this world. And what people respond to is not how old a person is or how young they are. What people respond to is the authenticity behind what you have to offer the world and whether they connect with it or not. And so you being you and the only you in this world, there's some content that you need to create or some art or music or, a business idea or a podcast or whatever it may be, a book that someone needs. And the longer you hold out on creating that because you're allowing fear or you're allowing the age excuse to hinder you from doing it, you're also depriving the people that need what you have to bring into the world of being able to connect with that. And one of the things that helped me the most was when I found out about Samuel L. Jackson. Did y'all know Samuel L. Jackson was 40 years old when he started his acting career? That was crazy to me. Like, he's got one of the most prolific acting careers of all time, and he didn't start until he was 40. And then I was laughing with somebody the other day about Joe Biden. Like, people, we laugh about Joe Biden and how old he is. But if you think about it, that man, I'm sure it was his dream to become the president of the United States one day. And he accomplished his dream at the ripe old age of 80 or however old he is, 82. And so, honestly, it's just another real world example that dispels this myth that your age is the determinant factor on whether you can be successful or not. So I wanted to start with that. Let's throw that out the window. You've let it hinder you enough. Go out and create what God put in you to create, and stop allowing that excuse to hinder you. So with that being said, I'll get into the real reason why I wanted to do this video. Was basically just to give a little bit of my backstory. My name is Israel. I started playing the piano when I was about 4. My pops got me a keyboard, a little Casio keyboard, and for my birthday when I was 4, and I just started listening to the radio, trying to mimic what I heard on the keyboard, and turns out I was pretty good at it. It was a God-given talent, and my mom and my dad helped cultivate that. When I was 13, I started learning how to read music and, started going to music camps and started figuring out more about the music theory behind the music. And by the time I was 17, I had a full ride scholarship to do music at the University of Iowa. Now, I lost that scholarship, just being dumb. Also, not just being dumb. Like, I had a lot going on in my personal life. I had a lot of, I wasn't very focused on what I needed to be focused on. And so I lost the scholarship and I started going to community college and everything. But I met my wife, and we dated for like 3 months. Then we ended up getting married. I knew she was the one. But then we got pregnant right away, and I ended up dropping out of school to just work and support my family. And I think that was an honorable move, but also it kind of took me off the path of pursuing my music career into this path of like just working and being the 9 to 5. And then it's like, next thing I know, a year went by, 5 years went by, 10 years went by. And I completely lost sight of my goals of being one of the greatest musicians of all time and spreading positivity and love around the world through my music. And I just was in this whole like just 9 to 5 like rabbit hole that I couldn't shake. And I was terrible at working, you know what I mean? Like I was fired from so many jobs just because, honestly, looking back on it, I just know I wasn't meant to be there, and around that 9 month to a year mark, like I was just completely like lose interest, I was like, because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. And somewhere deep down in my subconscious, I knew that wasn't my purpose. I knew I was born for something greater, and I knew I wasn't utilizing my gifts and talents. And so, some people can work the 9 to 5 and like, start off as an entry level and like work their way up to management. I've got friends that have done that and have found a lot of success, taking that path. But for me, I always felt like I was in some parallel universe, feel me, where I'm like, this is my life and this is what my life should have been. And I'm like, kind of like keeping tabs on like, where would I be right now if I had to continue, doing my music, And so anyway, long story short, that vicious cycle of not pursuing my dreams and just working came to a head in 2021. Actually, I had a really good job then. I had a really good pay, had good benefits, had stock. I had my own office. You know what I mean? Like, by any other standard, it would have been a great spot to be in. But I was at the worst place mentally that I had ever been, and just feeling like I'm getting older. I was 39 at the time. I'm like, my dreams were out the window. I don't know. I ended up starting going through this really deep depression, so much so that my supervisor and everyone around me started recognizing it. And I ended up taking a 90-day leave of absence from work to just focus on my mental health. And it was during that time that I had to go to therapy. So what happened was my therapist asked me one question. She said, when is the last time that you were truly happy? I had to think about it for a second because it had been a long time. And I remember it was when I was doing my music, when I was pursuing my music and going to music camps and all that type of stuff. That was the last time that I could remember being truly, truly happy. And she asked me a follow-up question, which was, if music is what makes you happy, how come you're not pursuing your music career? Sheesh. So simple, but yet so profound of a question that I didn't have a response to. And if music is truly what makes you happy, how come you're not pursuing your music career? That was deep, man. Then it was that question that changed my life. I went to work, I handed in my badge, I had it in my laptop, and I quit. And I had been talking to the wife for a couple years about moving to LA because we had gone to visit in like 2018. And I remember feeling like, man, the energy of the city is just so crazy. Like there's so many creatives here and people just going after their dreams, like music artists and actors and just like content creators. Like I feel like this is where I need to be. Like when I went to LA, I had got so much energy. Then when I went back to Iowa, which is where we were living at the time, the contrast and the juxtaposition between those two energies was just, I felt so, misaligned with where I was supposed to be. And that was kind of like the impetus behind all of the depression. But so I talked to the wife. I was like, I need to move to LA. It's a need, and she was finally ready, at that point. So the stars aligned, it was like a moment where my whole life turned around. We took a leap of faith, packed the U-Haul up, moved halfway across the country to LA. We didn't have no money really. I cashed out my 401k and we used that to help us move. My sister gave me some money to help with the moving costs. And we moved out there with no jobs, you know what I mean? Nothing, like we didn't have anything lined up. It was just like the giant leap of faith, like the biggest leap of faith I had taken. But I knew that I couldn't stay where I was, you know what I mean? I just couldn't, like I couldn't live with the regret of not trying to go after my dreams. It was like, I gotta at least try. If I jump out there and I fail, at least I can say I tried, but I can't live with just sitting here, withering away, dying, feeling depressed, and knowing that there's another life out there that I'm always gonna resent myself for not trying if I don't. And so Yeah, that was in 2021. I was 39 years old. Over that next 3 years, I'll do that in the next video. In the next video, I'll talk about how that 3 year period from 2021 till now, being MD for October London, traveling the world, doing my music, doing what I love to do, getting paid for that, having this career, having this lifestyle, meeting all the people that I'm meeting, and just feeling so fulfilled and feeling like I'm in my purpose and feeling successful and just happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been. And it all started with a leap of faith. And so, yeah, in the next episode, I'll talk about what that 3 year period was like. It's been completely unreal. God has been good, but I just wanted to give a little bit of my backstory and to encourage everybody that this is the season, man, to go after it. I hope this show inspires a lot of people. At the core of everything is believing in yourself. You know what I mean? You have to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your goals and your dreams. You got to believe, like I said, that you're the only you on this planet, and there's something that you need to bring into the world. And whatever's hindering you from doing that, it's time to let it go. And I hope this show is one of those things that kind of inspires people to like get out and go after it. No matter what your age is, you know what I mean? No matter where you are, no matter your background or your backstory, it's time to go get it. So yeah, appreciate y'all for joining in. Like, comment, and subscribe and share. Sorry this video was so long, but I just wanted to give my backstory, and we'll get into some better stuff or some other stuff, going forward. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all on the next episode, man. Peace and love. Later.